This is such a waste.
Bene, estramen subterraneum, estramen subterra.
Ah, la metro.
He understood it. He understood it. Let me tell you why. Subterraneum, subterranean, in Italian, sotterraneo, because in Italian, when there is BT, we simplify it into a double T. So he recognized it.
Estramen subterraneum, estramen subterra.
Yeah, subterra is like underground, so sottoterra in Italian. He recognized it.
Ah, la metro.
Ah, recte, ubi sit, per indicare?
Avanti. A sinistra.
A sinistra?
Avanti, a sinistra.
Sinistra.
Prossus a sinistra? Potessi indicare?
Prossimo.
So indicare is very similar to Italian, so now he's selecting. He's really good at this. Like, I don't know if people actually can tell how much he's putting into this, if they don't know how close Italian is to Latin and how sometimes it's not. Because what he's been doing, look, is he's first going a full-on Latin and whatever, so they don't understand anything. Then, when he sees that there is no connection, they are not understanding, he starts to selectively choose those words he knows, because he's an Italian speaker, that sound similar so that people can, and that's really a teacher thing. He's intentionally using similar words now so that there will be a communication. Sinistra, Italian for left, sinistran, Latin for left, so I mean, or in that direction. And so they now start to understand.
Huh?
A sinistra.
Proximum
A
viam.
sinistra. Qui a sinistra.
Even this one, proximam viam, in Italian, prossima via, or la prossima via, very similar.
Uh-huh.
Dritto.
Okay, they found it. They understood it. It's Latin, è latino. Sta a parlare in latino. It's once again Roman dialect for he is speaking in Latin. So they figured it out. How long did it take? Oh my gosh. But look at that little 500, Fiat 500 in the back. That is a beauty from the, 70s? I think that's from the 70s, that little car in the background there. Yeah.
Ah, recta.
E tu arrivi.
Bene, ok. Bene, grazie.
Bye bye.
Valete. There we go, that's the laugh. You troll. You trolling my people. And I agree.
Potessi venire qui da dicere, qua ero Basilica Quantam, sadis manem hankui Kinia, e Basilica Sancti Johannis vocatur. Sentivi nota?
She's just... she said, non ho capito niente, which means I didn't understand it.
Bene, Basilica est Ecclesia Magna, Sancti Johannis.
Ecclesia is such a beautiful word. Ecclesia, to mean church. Beautiful word.
Excuse me, we see.
I think the dog is more likely to understand this section, because at least the dog can pick up on the pitch, highs and lows. The dog can understand if he's happy or not.
Excuse me, we see.
Take the bus.
And they switch to English. Oh my gosh. Now, if one of my ancestors, right, Julius Caesar, if he could wake up right now from his eternal slumber and see this, from the perspective of an ancient Roman, Luke would be making perfect sense. But then, it's like, why are my, pro-nephews and nieces of 1,000, 2,000 years, why are they speaking a barbarian language to him? Literally. He would probably think it's some kind of, maybe, it would sound to him probably because of the Germanic roots of English, even though then again, we do know that a big chunk, I think it's 40% of vocabulary in English is Latin-based, oftentimes through medieval French, Norman French, but there is also some actual Latin in it. Would he consider it a Germanic language? I think so. He would be why are they speaking? Not to mention, we have, as modern Italian, acquired some barbarian speech features, like the V sound, pronounced like a V. That would sound very Germanic to the Romans. Imagine, how you can imagine it to give you a perspective? As an English speaker, you say wall right? The wall, let's drink some wine. Imagine that in 2,000 years in the future, because of, I don't know, German influence in America and in England, people will actually say Wein and Vol. That's my Vol here. Let me drink some wine. That's what it would sound like to you, to give you the perspective. Because Wallum is the word where wall comes from, and it means, of course, a wall. And then Vinum would be the way they would pronounce it in ancient Rome. So that's what it would sound like. If to you, let's have some Wein sounds German, there you go. Welcome to the perspective of an ancient Roman if you could hear modern Italian.
Take the bus.
Anglicé non
the bus.
loquor ignoscemi.
Anglicé non loquor ignoscemi. Me. Oh yeah, note that one is interesting. So that word has
Take
two
the bus.
varieties.
Anglicé non loquor.
Yeah. So look at the word at the end. This in classical Latin can be pronounced mihi with an actual aspirated H, or you can just say me. In ecclesiastical Latin also has two possible pronunciation. You either say me, just like he did, or you say miki. I don't like the second one.
Ignoscemi. E se da quia isne aquia ila quia.
San Giovanni.
Excuse me, we see. Basilica Sancti Ioannis.
Okay.
Over there.
By feet
then
or by
turn
bus?
right.
They keep using barbarian speech.
By bus?
Per bus.
Non intellego.
Non intellego. It's a beautiful way to say I don't understand.
Non, Anglicé non loquor.
Okay. Spanish?
Espanol, he's going to try everything. Romanian, Russian, Japanese, Mandarin. 你会讲一些普通话吗？对不起，我会讲一些普通话。你是不是中国人？ Literally, they're gonna use freaking Mandarin on him rather than すいません。ちょっと英語できませんけれども、日本語ができます。
Non.
Where are you from?
Cosmopolitanus.
Where are you from? He should have said Roma. He should have said Roma. Oh my gosh.
Latine loquor. Origine latine. Es Romanus, non è? Bene. Certo. Sono Roma.
Parli romano.
Parli romano.
You can speak in English,
Spanish, Italian. Yeah, what have you got left, mate?
No, non possum. Se
Okay.
Basilica Quaero Sancti Ioanni.
Okay.
UBS.
Are you joking with me?
Yeah, oh my gosh, this is gonna get everything but Latin. Now it's gonna get, this is the part where the guy punches him in the face. And Luke has, I don't know, because Luke used to be like in the Air Force, wasn't he? I think he was like a military helicopter pilot for what I remember. So he might be able, we might see some judo, we might see some Aikido here in action, maybe some MMA, some Muay Thai, And I know that I should, in theory, support my fellow citizens, but I'm not. I'm like, go ahead, Luke, he deserves it. Hit him in the face.
Qui?
Quit.
Stai scherzando con me?
The guy's pissed.
Che lingua parli?
Latine loquor.
Latine cosa?
Latine. Yeah, Latina. That's the language, mate.
Latine es lingua latina.
Sì, io non parlo latino,
Nessuno
parla
parla
latino a parte te.
Nessuno parla latino a parte te. Oh my gosh, take his Italian citizenship from him. From him. Take it. If that was me, just to give you, if that was me, and I'm just walking around Palermo, Sicily, and someone starts speaking Latin to me, pretend that I know no Latin whatsoever, I'd be like, oh, parli latino. Wow. I wouldn't be pissed. Although maybe at this point, look, I would drop it. Maybe. And I would just say, sì, dai, sto scherzando. Sto facendo un video like you do with candid camera. Maybe that's the part where I would have done that.
Se vuoi indicazioni in latino, prendi il telefono, Google e cerchi il latino.
Bene, potesmi dire ubi es Basilica Sancti Ioannis.
Di là.
Di là?
Vai.
Gratias. Grande subito.
So, to answer the question, can Romans understand Latin? Yes, but they don't always enjoy it.
Yeah, I think he's been nice here. I think classical Latin, majority of the population, no. If you give it in like a written form, then yeah, I think a lot of Italians will be able to understand at least a good chunk. It depends on the level of education, let's put it this way.